Hello, everyone. I'm David. I'm a TI, and I'm here with Matt. He's here for a follow-up. He is let me know some stuff has changed or went on since his last targeting. I mean, since he last was on. Sorry, I've been busy this morning, so busy. Um, so anyway, Matt. I can't read. Let's see. Just could you cover medical first? I'm sorry. I had a lot
Yeah,
going on this morning, man.
that's all right, man. Hey, Wes, thanks again for giving me the time to um have a follow-up. Since the last interview I had with you, I believe was in May, and it was just basically like a brief introduction. It was kind of I was at a good point during that last interview. I was the targeting had backed off for like a day or so, allow me to actually reset from the neural monitoring and kind of recover from a little from at least like a month or so of heavy harassment and um, targeting. My since my last interview, I developed two um, medical conditions from related to the blood work that I've had. My neurologist in New Jersey recommended that I see an endocrinologist based on the blood work that was done in the middle of May.
Now, was that for your thyroid?
My thyroid levels are off. I have other hormone imbalances that could be attributed to the thyroid, as well as other bodily attacks from the neural monitoring and separate energy weapons as well. So the neurologist with the blood work done in May had led me to go seek an endocrinologist. Uh, the endocrinologist was treating me for the thyroid condition, and that was basically determined on follow-up blood work that I had in October. The October blood work had shown that the thyroid hormone, I guess this T4 had not changed since the original discovery in May.
Now, was your
So that
T4
was a
over
good,
0.5?
excuse me.
Was your T4 over 0.5?
I'll look at it right now. It's actually a hypothyroid condition. Um,
Yeah, because I noticed,
I'm
every
looking at,
TI, a lot of TIs have thyroid problems because they're getting hit with weapons and your thyroid absorbs all of your radiation. So my
correct.
girlfriend had cancer. I got thyroid problems. I have to take Synthroid, Levoxythyroid.
Okay. All right. My blood work from May 15th on the thyroid panel, T3 total is 0.8, with the note
Yeah,
of
that's high.
L, I guess being low, out of the
Oh, they got that as being low?
low for height.
Oh, I'm thinking of something else with your thyroid that goes high. I don't know what it is, but something.
I have a hypothyroid
Oh,
condition,
okay.
not hyper. So the T3 total is 0.8, and TSH, the TSH level is 0.26 when the lower cutoff is 0.45, and it was flagged L for low. That was blood work drawn May 15th. My endocrinologist this past October did follow-up blood work, and on the blood that was analyzed in October had shown that the
And don't it say,
T3 total had not changed, and had not went any lower out of range from the 0.8 in May. So he had recommended that I have an iodine reuptake exam, which I had done over in their radiology lab last week. Actually, sorry, the very beginning of this week, Monday and Tuesday of this last week. and the iodine reuptake had shown to be normal and okay. But they had also noted that there was an asymmetry in my thyroid where I believe they said the right side is a little bit enlarged more than the left side. And we could do that asymmetry. They're recommending an ultrasound to look for any further deformities in the thyroid.
Okay, so
My
did you have
follow-up,
nodes?
excuse me.
Did they find any nodes that
That's
they
going to
had?
be that's in the weeks ahead coming up because I
Yeah,
have to
then
go
they'll
back.
probably do a biopsy if they find nodes to see if it's cancer. My girlfriend had it, and boy, that hurts when they shoot. Whew.
Um, my follow-up with the endocrinologist will be January 9th, and
And
he'll
when
be
did your
looking over the
thyroid
lab
problems
notes.
start? When your targeting started, basically?
No, I never knew I had a thyroid condition to this last May.
Okay.
And I mean, I guess obviously it's got to be a result of broadcast
Oh yeah,
electronic harassment that's been
I've
going
talked to
on.
countless TIs who have thyroid problems.
Right. Um, I've been suffering a lot of I guess sleep deprivation, coupled by another form of attack that they put on me a lot is actually hyper stimulating my central nervous system. Currently happening at the moment right now, while I'm also in a state of heavy fatigue because I I slept from maybe 11 o'clock last night to about 2:30 in the morning to 2:30. Uh, got up, took some CBD, drank some kava tea, and then went back down to sleep. Might have slept and dozed for like another hour or so, and then I had to wake up about an hour and a half ago to get up and get ready for this interview. So while I'm in a state of fatigue from sleep deprivation and basically electronic harassment almost around the clock, they make it even worse by hyperstimulating your central nervous system to make the fatigue condition even more exaggerated.
Right.
I'm sure this sounds familiar.
Now, when you say, do you take any multivitamins?
Yes, I do. I take a standard over the counter multivitamin every day.
Oh, standard, huh?
Just a standard store brand multivitamin. I've been taking this for years. Um, I take a fish oil. I've been taking for years. Vitamin B1, vitamin D3. I take um, the zeolite and intestine bowel cleanser health. I take on and off.
Are
Uh,
we I mean, do you notice any difference from the zeolite?
Actually, I think I might have. If you let me, I'll explain the scenario. Back in early spring or mid-spring, I believe I might have been not like food poisoned, but maybe food tainted. I might have eaten some tainted food that may have infected my gut and my bowels with maybe like a semi-metallic particle that binded to my gut and made it reactive to the electromagnetic targeting. And I believe this because in the weeks that followed, I was getting like kind of like magnetic push and pulls down in my gut area. That was a new symptom of my targeting. Um, so right around that time is when I was listening and got advice about the zeolite and how it's actually could be used to flush out semi-metallic particles. So I took zeolite on and off for a period of about 2 months, and eventually those symptoms did pass away.
Hmm.
So
Now you're taking magnesium. Have you studied the minerals that it may flush out to?
magnesium. Uh,
Yeah.
um, the magnesium that I take is not a special kind. It's just like a generic
Yeah.
magnesium. I've also seen a lot of targeted ads kind of telling to explain that it may not be the right magnesium uh,
Right.
that
Because a lot of
I
these
mean, I
weapons
don't.
make you deficient in vitamins and minerals. So very important, like to get like something like life extension, magnesium and potassium, life extension multivitamins. They're some of the best out there.
Right. That particular brand.
Yeah.
All right. Sure. Why not?
I
I mean,
mean, because you can tell
some of
magnesium.
my targeting, they actually like they like actually using me as kind of like a portable billboard or
Right.
kind of tester.
Well, if you take
So,
real, if you
what's the
get the
life?
potassium, if you get
Sorry, Dave,
potassium,
slow down,
magnesium,
please. Dave. Uh, Life Extension is the name of the
life
brand.
extension.
Life Extension, 2 words.
Hmm.
Okay.
If you get a real potassium and magnesium supplement together, that's the best thing to do is take. It'll make you feel flush when you take it because the electrolytes and stuff are hit. That's how you know if it's a real potassium magnesium supplement.
Potassium I get kind of naturally, but for my breakfast, I regularly have eat bananas with my breakfast. So I know it sounds corny and hokey,
Oh
but
no, I eat
I
bananas like
mean just
crazy.
potassium from bananas, um, it's kind of like part of regular my morning diet. So um, and actually, if I, it's funny because I have my May blood work up right now, and I have not really changed my diet all that much since May. Just maybe small adjustments, and actually, to read right now, my potassium level in May is actually in the middle, smack in the middle, 4.2. So, I guess
So you're
potassium's
not
not.
deficient in nothing, huh?
No, I never said that actually. I could actually, I wouldn't mind taking my personal information off the top of my blood work and sending you a screenshot if you want to use this as a public case story. But back in May, sodium was just 1 point low. The regular, a lot of the regular standard um, CMP or metabolic panel um, checkpoints were okay, were normal. Um, I do see here iron was high. UIBC, I don't know what that is low, as well as the percent saturation is high. So um, I'll just say right now, my neurologist that ordered this blood work and had it analyzed and recommended the endocrinologist is in New Jersey, and she's the same neurologist that Ti Courtney you had on a couple months ago sees, Dr. Lydia. And I got a diagnosis from her last April 2022 for Havana.
And I was looking at that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna pull up. UIBC.
UIBC.
The body has high iron stores or is not using iron properly. This can be a sign of iron overload conditions such as hemochromatosis or other conditions that disrupt iron metabolism.
Okay.
Chronic
Um,
infections can cause it. Symptoms of that is fatigue, joint pain, abdominal pain. And see, that's what Duncan says in his books. The weapons cause the problems and the deficiencies. See, a lot of people's like, I'm not going to the doctor because it's just weapons. Well, you still, if you can find a good doctor that's not in on it, you still need to get that stuff balanced out because that's what's called the weapons cause the problem. The problem can be solved sometimes by taking supplements.
right. So the supplements that we take is actually it's just constantly counteracting the effects of the weapon damage.
Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, weapons can make you feel fatigued, but that's what it says the symptoms of the UIBC is fatigue, joint pain,
Right.
abdominal pain, and organ damage such as cirrhosis, diabetes, and heart problems.
Mm-hmm. And that's for the long term,
Yeah.
cumulative over long periods of time.
Yeah.
Um, Well, that's kind of, I don't understand here how the normal range for iron on this lab work is 50 to 175 units. My level is 238. So it shows that I have plenty of iron available. It actually is flagged for H, but however, the UIBC is 182, which is low, where the normal range is 250 to
Yeah, it says
425.
a low
And I came up
unsaturated
at
iron binding
182.
capacity results indicates that the body has high iron stores or is not using iron properly. This can be a
Oh,
sign of iron overload conditions.
right. Okay. Okay. And that could explain joint pain, and some of the other damage that you just mentioned.
Yeah, and all I did was
Uh,
Google what low UIBC, and that's how it came up.
okay. I do experience joint pain. I take a over the counter supplement called Move 3. It's pretty popular. Every Walgreens and drugstore carries it. I'll take it. I do a lot of physical labor at my job when I work on assignments. I typically work like up to 3 to 4 weeks at a stretch, and then I'll be off for a couple weeks and then go back to work for another 3 4 weeks on a 7 day work basis. And then even when I'm off work, I do try to maintain weight and strength through this light gym work. Um, so I would experience joint pain from work, and I guess sometimes from traveling. If I've been on the road for like a day and a half traveling, and I haven't been sleeping right, I'll get shoulder pain, hip pain. Um, so I would supplement with just move free for that, and after like a day or two, it goes away. But I do also have chronic neck and back pain because I do have like 3 or 4 herniated discs in my lower back and the same up in my neck. And one fusion was actually pointed out. This was actually discovered by Dr. Lydia Sajenko when I did my initial intake last April 2022. She ordered 3 MRIs on me. One of the MRIs was for the neck and back, and that's where she discovered that I had these herniated discs.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Them are painful, huh?
it's not debilitating.
Oh, okay.
It's chronic in the sense that it reoccurs, but it's manageable. Um, as far as the other joint pains that I get, I one of the second medical condition that I developed in the past 6 months, I would say, is BPH, which is a benign. It's a prostate condition that occurs and occurs on and off. Um, I had to see my urologist for the third time since 2021 for urinary trouble, and this last fall it got bad enough to the point where I was getting pelvic pain from the swelling up against my pelvis. Put pressure on my hip joints.
Have you ever been blocked?
Blocked.
The weapons cause blocking sometimes. And
Yes,
yeah,
yes, I
I was
have.
blocked 35 days in 2022. I had a catheter in 35 days.
I never had a catheter put in, but I have actually been blocked directly from the weapon itself,
Yeah,
where I feel like I have a strong urge to urinate,
and you
and they
can't.
block me where I can't urinate when I should be urinating. But a lot of it is just where the bladder can't fully empty.
Yeah.
Um, where I get a
Did you know they
strong
make
urge
a
to
little
urinate.
thing that goes in your back that I would never have it put in, but it goes in your spine and for people like I'm not gonna put nobody's business out there, but I know I'm close to somebody who has one in their back and it helps them pee, empty their bladder fully.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
heard about that result with certain medical conditions, but well, you got to understand that I'm in my early 40s,
Yeah.
And these conditions are both the thyroid and the prostate conditions, typical age range where men discover these problems, they'll be in their late 50s to 60s years of
Yep.
age. So being at the age of 40, having to go see a urologist for urinary trouble,
Yeah. The
it was
guy I
no, it
know
was
is
noted
70
that
something.
it was noted as unusual then, 3 years ago.
Yep.
I just went to see my urologist then, and he even told me that you're too young to be in here. And all right, we're back.
Yeah.
All
Sorry
right.
about that.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, phone calls, you don't want everything out there. Um, uh, so with the prostate condition that I have now, I went for blood work very beginning of this last month, and it came back that my PSA level is reading 0.5. They're targeting me right now because the gang stalkers with the hive mind, they actually find this humorous and kind of funny, and the feedback from the hive is actually putting smiles on my face. But the
Try to ignore it.
yeah, exactly, and I could see there you're understand. So the prostate specific AG is coming back as 0.5. Normal range is 0.0 to 4.0. And well, this is one lab work here. The email that I got from the LabCorp and what they on their what they posted on my chart related to that showed that 0 to 4 was normal, and I was flagged as a 5.
Mm.
So I'm hoping it's harmless, but I have not seen my doctor since I had this lab work. In a couple of weeks, I'm going back to the urologist, and he'll probably recommend follow-up blood work, and he'll tell me then if it's actually a little bit on the high side or if it's within range. Because I was a little confused about that. If it says 0.5 on one on the sheet that I just looked at that I have a copy of, but on the online version that I can only really take a screenshot if I wanted to, it reads
Yeah.
0.5. I mean 5.0. And
So a high
well,
PSA can mean enlarged prostate and infection.
well,
It's not necessarily as cancer.
it doesn't mean cancer itself, but it's an indicator that cancer uh,
Mm-hmm.
could be a future issue. Now, let me open up screenshots here, see if I have it. Okay. No, that ain't it. That's my blood donation paperwork. I'm actually I mean this is off topic, but I'm actually a regular blood donor as myself within New York State. I have O negative blood.
Oh,
Yeah.
you can give me.
Uh,
I'm O positive.
okay, I'm O negative.
Oh,
And
your blood's highly sought after.
yeah, so is yours too.
Yeah.
Both the O positive and the O negative are rare blood types. Um, so can you see my screen right now?
Uh-uh. Hold
Okay,
on. Let
good.
me see if I've let's see. Try sharing it now.
Uh,
There should be a green button that says share in the
oh,
middle.
all
In
right.
the
I'm not actually looking to do that right now. I'm trying to see if I have the file first. So, uh,
so you just basically been working and dealing with perps and the same old stuff, huh?
well, I mean, it never ends really, and it's just basically it's just a struggle. I'm trying to save money, build up to find like a permanent residence.
Right.
I've been living
Now,
as
do
a
you trust
nomad
your
ever since
doctors?
last summer. Okay, I can't find a lab work right now that
Well, we believe you
Or
ain't got to
posted on
show
their
it.
site. But basically, their range was 0 to 4.0. They gave me a 5.0, 1 full point higher than the 4.0 cutoff. So that's what I want to go talk to my doctor about after the new year. And I've read online of ways you could lower the PSA count. So as far as that, it's just a lot of it is some diet, cardio, exercise, lots of fluids, green tea. Green tea is recommended. So I've been on I've been trying to just basically uh, keep that in awareness with my diet and activity. And that's another way I've been coping every day, even though I'm not working on assignment right now. But I regular every day I've been running 2 miles on the treadmill, run, jog 2 miles,
That's awesome.
some weightlifting sets, but without getting too much into it. I'm not looking really to build and put on weight, just maintain working strength. Because about a year or two ago, I had a period of my targeting where I've been troubling to maintain weight and maintain strength. And actually I was worried about it when I first noticed it in October of 2022. I traveled on a small vacation, and a friend that I hadn't seen in about 4 or 5 months had noticed that I've lost a lot of weight since the last time she'd seen me. And it was like, I mean, I haven't seen this person in 4 or 5 months. And the first thing she says is like, "Oh my God, you lost so much weight. What happened?" And it was all due to targeting. So that was the first time I know somebody noticed weight loss on me. And it was actually noted again like a month or two later when I saw another old friend in New York City, and a different person had noted that like I had lost a lot of weight since the last time we had met and spoken. So I think I've been doing very well with the weight maintenance this year, with diet, just mostly diet, food intake, and I guess exercise as well. Not making sure I stay active when I'm not working on assignment. And it actually caught up to me last summer. I had a fear that maybe loss of working strength might become an issue at work. And I had a situation the end of last summer where I needed help closing a valve at work.
Wow.
And it's just like a routine activity I needed help with. And that's where I could kind of like personally flag myself that I gotta take that serious into account to maintaining weight and strength. But also I got the joint conditions with my neck and spine and my hips, and I had to just be mindful that try to maintain weight and strength without getting injured. So
Right.
I kind of like I lightly say to myself, okay, make sure you go to the gym, but don't get hurt at the same time. Which it sounds stupid. I mean, like to us at our age, but so just
Yeah, I noticed.
careful, and especially with the targeting and the balance. I mean, it would be terrible if I got hit with vertigo.
Now you
And,
mentioned
yeah.
workaholic. Are you a workaholic because the multitasking seems to help?
Well,
Staying busy seems to help when you're getting attacked. You think that might be a reason unconsciously?
I say mostly what I think. I've always been kind of like I've had those workaholic tendencies. Um, to the point, right now it's more just kind of like I'd rather get up, task work, do something productive than just sit in front of a screen watching YouTube and news all day, or
Right,
TV shows.
right.
With the gang stalkers, I don't know if you noticed this. I mean, I know you don't really like to leave the house and go out and travel, get out that much. You mentioned your agoraphobia, where you kind of housebound and house ridden most of the time. Do you ever find that like if you sit and if you're just watching the screen, watching clips, watching YouTube, watching TV shows, like that's like enough to keep the gang stalkers happy? Or as long as you,
Oh yeah,
as long as you're consuming data and watching
yeah.
shows and comment, even the fictional shows, as long as you're consuming data and
That's
commenting
why I
on
try
it,
to
that's
keep
enough.
myself busy.
Yeah, yeah. With the gang stalkers and the handlers, at least one of the handlers I have, he's perfectly content to have me sit in a chair in front of a screen all day long and just take bathroom breaks. And as long as I'm sitting there awake, consuming screen data, that's enough to keep him happy. And
Yeah, I've
part of the
really
dark
been
end of it,
doing.
I mean, there's illegal money in this targeting. We already probably has been covered a lot now. The live streams they're sold illegally, and they charge viewership through cryptocurrency. So as long as I'm sitting in front of a screen consuming data all day long without doing minimally nothing else, that's enough to keep his data coming in and keep him
Yeah,
playing his games.
I've been working out like a beast lately, man. Like, oh, that's what I've been doing. Like, I don't, I really don't sit around and watch. I'm really not a TV person. Like, I'm constantly busy doing something around this house, and
Yeah.
mostly I've been working out. I don't know if you could tell.
Uh,
Yeah, working
Yeah,
out, doing my
I
stuff.
actually, I don't remember ever you being like looking frail
Oh,
or
I was frail. There
had
was
this
a period
problem.
last year I was on the
Yeah,
couch all day, like I couldn't even move because I was so fatigued from weapons. And that's when I said about 2 months ago, I said, you know what? I started out I could only do 5 push-ups. That's how out of shape I was.
I've
Now I can do 40 at a time.
yeah, I was never into the large amounts of push-ups, but yeah, five tens. I said 10 sounds like I haven't even tried, but that's pretty much like where I would be if when it comes to that. I'm not really putting much time into chest workouts. I'm mostly just focused on shoulder, buys and tries, shoulders and arms. Um, that's my main concern with that. Do you get visual periphery harassment as well to go with the V2K? Because I know you suffer V2K a lot. Do you ever get like a visual periphery uh, um, um, brain computer interface harassment?
Like, could you?
Like what like during like your course of your regular day, you'll get like in the back, it seems like in the back of your head, you get like an image of like a cartoon image of a stalker or somebody's face, kind of like as if
Uh-uh.
like in the periphery. You never get visual,
Mm-mm.
never get visual
No,
harassment.
but I've heard a lot of targets talk about it lately.
Right. Yeah, that's been reoccurring for years on and off, and especially at night, like at night when I try to sleep, it's a kind of like a tactic to keep you awake because I mean I find it hard to sleep if they project an image into your visual
Now,
or your
I
visual
notice my
cortex.
V2K at night when I go to try to sleep. Oh man, you're missing it. They're in your yard. You better look at the camera. You better look at the camera. And I find
Yeah,
myself like, what if they're right? And then I'm not looking at the camera and something happens in this panic mode. You know what I'm saying? And I
right,
fall for it most of the time, but I'm trying to get better at not falling for it.
right. Yeah. I mean, I know another target who's got a channel on YouTube. He complains a lot about the visual harassment. I'm glad I don't drive myself, but he's he complained of actually being targeted through the visual cortex while on a state highway, causing him to be distracted while driving on a interstate high speed highway. Um, that's that's dangerous. I know you don't drive. Has Holly ever complained about being targeted while driving?
Oh, they try to put her to sleep while she's driving, and I tell her, pull
Induced
over, lock your
narcolepsy behind
doors,
the
and
wheel.
take a nap.
Yeah. What about the V2K and any visual distractions? She complained of that.
Besides running her off the road or something like physical, no, not really.
Okay. Right. Well, yeah,
Her
being targeted
V2K
behind the wheel,
downs her a lot and
that's a
tries to
whole other,
mess with her
that's a whole other
self-esteem.
set of charges there. They're getting into the realm of vehicular manslaughter or, trying to induce a car accident. Um, that's a whole other level of, felonies and just being harassing your house. Um, I try to see, like, if I'm describing the whole targeting picture, besides the organized stalking, electronic harassment, kind of like an umbrella term for everything. So,
Kind of like a spider web too. Kind of like, is that what you're talking about when you say umbrella? Kind of like a spider web connection?
an overarching term like electronic harassment. I mean, that can be anything from phone hacking to the neural monitoring, the V2K, even just like messing with an electronic key card. Because so much of our daily lives are actually um, dependent on electronic devices. So other than electronic weaponry, that our dependence on electronic devices, the hacking and playing around and altering with that also can fall under electronic harassment. And that's, I guess, from the light end to the extreme end, which would be the directed energy weapons. So, I mean, you say electronic harassment, it's kind of like, okay, how,
Yeah.
But yeah, so electronic harassment while you're driving is, that's, that's a whole other aspect. All right, I think I've covered, most of the medical conditions I wanted to update on. Neurologist, led me to see an endocrinologist, determined I have a thyroid condition that needs to be monitored. I went to the radiologist at the beginning of this last week, had my iodine reuptake exam done. Iodine levels were good on the uptake. So the thyroid function as far as iodine is good, but they also noted an asymmetry in the thyroid, and they recommended an ultrasound to determine if there's any more deformities or, I guess, growths in the thyroid. That follow-up is beginning of next month. And then also the reoccurring prostate condition, where I had to see the urologist for the third time in 3 years. This summer I had blood work done, questionable high PSA level. Both conditions are a result of the electronic harassment. Have you have any targets talk about satellite harassment in particular, satellite broadcast?
You talking about being hit by satellites?
Not hit by satellites, broadcast. Basically,
Dark web.
dark. Yes, associated with illegally sharing broadcasts, live streams through the dark web.
Yeah,
But
I've
to
had
the
a
point,
couple. I think that Haley Graves might have talked about it. I'm not sure though. Don't quote me on that. I think she was one of them
okay.
that talked about it. Um, yeah, I've
I
heard a lot
first read
more.
about satellite
Did
harassment
you?
from Dr. John Hall's first book. And Dr. John Hall, in that first book he wrote, he mentioned satellites being used directly for the weapon attack,
Oh yeah, yeah.
for
I
strictly
believe that.
directed energy weapons. I had suffered that. And I'd known that because this is what led me to go see a neurologist and get my Havana diagnosis. But also the broadcast itself had been taken off of the cellular network and put onto a satellite network. And I know this from traveling and going to work, where my broadcast, the whole broadcast situation would not change from being in a city or suburb um, cellular network area, and then leaving a cellular network area where there is no cell service and no towers being around, there'll be little change at all in the whole electronic broadcast situation. I've been offshore, miles offshore, a couple of years ago when it was noted that, hey, this is being done through satellite at this point. There's not a cellular tower for 10 at least 50 miles offshore we've been,
Right.
and the broadcast is still going on.
And
It was
I believe you're
confirmed by a
right.
friend of mine, another target from my home city that actually wrote me in that year, that month, and told me, they have you on satellite. He said, you're being targeted by satellite. And this was November of 22.
I totally agree. I was in the swamp in Louisiana 30 days with no, if you did run across a camp, they got generators. There was no power lines, no cell phone service or nothing. I was lost deep in the swamp in the Chaffalai Wildlife or Chaffalai Basin and still got heavy V2K attacks and all that. So,
What year was that? 2018?
2018,
Right. Okay. I don't think I was put on satellite until 2022.
Mo.
Um, shit, I actually sometimes I think back, I wish it was back during COVID again. When that whole COVID epidemic hit and the country went on lockdown, it put a stall on my life, like a lot of other people, it was a common complaint. But the broadcasting and the targeting had went pretty much to a standstill, and life was boring. But the targeting had stopped for at least for about 6-7 months. Yeah, no, I don't know about that long, maybe like 5 months. Went through a period of low targeting.
Well, you know what they were
So
doing? You know what they were
yeah,
busy doing while everybody was locked down?
right.
Building 5G, putting the 5G grid in.
Oh yeah, that's true. Well, I was also kind of thinking the gang stalkers themselves were probably didn't have much time to be concerned about me. They're probably wrapped up in their own lives so much that they were just like kind of put the targeting on hold, kick it down. Like, okay, now's not the time to be worried about him. They need to worry about themselves.
Right.
I mean, basically, most most people had went through some kind of reset during that period of having their work and lives disrupted somehow. So my targeting went down. Kind of boring, not really much going on, but hey, at least it was safer. Um, yeah, and 22 is when they put me on satellite. Took it to the point where it doesn't have to be dependent on the cellular, and I could be on satellite broadcast. All right. Hey, I think that's about it right now. I covered just everything.
Instead of smart drops.
Yeah. Can you send me a link to that?
Yeah, it's called
Wait.
aprotropic, and you got lion's mane here. It's not only got lion's mane, it's got turkey tail, reishi, cordyceps, and
Right.
all them mushrooms are very like turkey tail cured cancer for breast cancer, thyroid cancer, and other kinds of cancer. 30 years before medicine was around, they were using turkey tail. What it does is it damage cells that are damaged by radiation, which is why I think my vibrations have cut in half because it repairs cells. They refer it to people who are in chemo because it repairs the cells from radiation.
So can't people going through radiation and chemo treatment take the same product? Doctor recommended.
Well, yeah, some
Okay.
if they're really truly
I got you. Doctors that recommend alternative means besides just the regular prescription drugs.
right,
Yeah, those are doctors that I would have a little bit more respect for. I think that wouldn't actually solely be dependent on prescription medication
right.
to your condition or to aid healing your condition. Actually, be open to recommending other products. That's good. Okay.
But I'll send
What
you the
about
link. You ought to
hey,
give it a try.
how about a water shielding?
Yeah, there's days I
You
used
mentioned
to.
try using you tried using the water cap. I'm actually
Uh,
thinking about getting a water filled blanket or a
that'd
water
be
mat.
awesome because there's
Just
days I had half-gallon Ziploc bags full of water. I would lay on the couch with them over my head, and I
right.
felt a lot of relief when they were heating me up.
Yeah. Um, I want to look into getting like a water shielding blanket because I've been in the past couple of weeks. I've woken up in the middle of the night from painful shocks all in the bed, trying to sleep, and I get hit bad enough where it causes me to yell out and roll over. Too
Wow.
tired to, I mean, sometimes so fatigued and tired I can't get up and walk it off really. But if I were to get up, I would just basically pace, try to go to the bathroom and go back to sleep because we're just so tired and fatigued. But that led me thinking of wanting to get like maybe like a water shielding blanket if that could cut it down. Those attacks are not neural RNM EEG cloning attacks. I mean, they're straight directed energy weapons, pinpoint, quick attack, bodily attacks. So I've gotten them in the torso and down to the legs and the whole from neck down. Okay, all right. Hey,
You want me to stop the recording?
yeah, that's it for now. Keep in touch.